Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. My name is Muhammad Azhar Hazim bin Kamar Zaman as a representative of Group 7. Me, as a first presenter, would like to introduce my other group members, which is Tariq, Muaz and Naufal. And our group will be present about our physics prototype that we choose called Thermos Flask. So what is Thermos Flask? Our Thermos Flask was made from recycled materials and it consists of a plastic bottle on the outside and a wrapped glass bottle with an aluminium foil on the inside. Since the product was made from recycled materials, the glass bottle represents as the glass envelope. The aluminium foil represents as a silvered surface from the glass bottle. The plastic bottle on the outside represents as the outer case of the thermos, and the paper at the bottom of the glass bottle represents as an insulated support. The empty space between the wrapped glass bottle and the plastic bottle represents as the vacuum. The thermos flask can keep the water at a constant temperature, either hot or cold. That said, we can see that this prototype uses the concept of heat and heat transfer. Because of that, we can enjoy our drink without losing its temperature, as the water stored in the thermos flask is not changed. That's all my explanation about the thermos flask. I will pass this presentation to the next presenter, which is Muaz, to present about why the thermos is selected, maybe due to the improvement in technology. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi, my name is Muhammad Muaz bin Junaidi, and for my part, I will discuss with you why the thermos flask is selected, may be due to the improvement in technology. At the beginning of this new era of technology, thermos flask may have been invented as a thing called mini technology. Technology is the branch of knowledge dealing with engineering or applied science. This technology may be applied in life, which is used in terms of heat and heat transfer. People use a thermos flask as a medium to keep the temperature of the fluid last longer. So, this kind of technology supports human life and human being in a way to supply human necessities such as cold and hot water that can stay much more longer. And once again, why and what kind of improvement has that thermos flask has given in this world of technology? First, it may help people to live better by getting used to a new medium that can keep hot water and cold water for a long duration. Without any medium that supplies hot and cold water to last longer to humans, maybe they must be suffering to use an electrical object such as a refrigerator and water heater that costs an expensive price. Second, the thermos flask also works on the principle that air acts as an insulator and does not allow the heat to flow through it. This might apply to what technologies do other than advanced technology such as washing machines, coffee makers, television, mobile phone, and hair dryer. Thermos flask may also be called as a technology that applies science in it, and it usable and useful for all human beings to make their life easier and more comfortable to use it despite buying an expensive item to keep the things hot and cold. Lastly, the medium helps to keep liquids cold by not letting the heat from outside into the container. This can keep the warm temperature of the water longer. Thus, we can bring the thermos flask when traveling or bring it to work or school as a supply for a long journey, and also can use it afterwards somewhere else. Another example of the principle of heat and heat transfer other than thermos flask, such as a calorimeter, which is an object used for calorimetry or the process of measuring the heat of chemical reactions or physical changes as well as heat capacity. So, That's all from me, and I hope our project will answer the question, which is why the Thermos Flask is selected due to the improvement in the era of this technology. Thus, I hope our discussion can be accepted for your understanding and may fill up your knowledge wisely. And thank you for your listening, and I will pass it to our next presenter, which is Tariq.
Thank you, Muaz. Assalamualaikum. My name is Tariq Baik, and I would like to continue the presentation with what is the concept or principle of physics applied in the product. There are three principles of physics applied in the product, which is heat, temperature, and vacuum. The first one is heat. Heat is a form of energy. Heat can be measured in units of joules. Heat flows from a hotter material to a cooler one. A substance becomes hot when it receives heat. The temperature will rise when receiving heat. A substance becomes cold when it loses heat. The temperature will drop when heat is lost. The second principle of physics applied in the product is temperature. The temperature is measured of the degree of heat of a substance. The standard unit for a temperature is degrees Celsius. A thermometer is a device used to measure temperature. The last one is vacuum. Vacuum does not allow the heat transfer between the hot liquid inside and the cool air outside. The process of conduction and convection are unable to occur. The vacuum prevents the heat loss by conduction because vacuum is a bad conductor of heat. The stopper prevents the heat loss by convection because it is tightly sealed. The inner reflecting layer prevents the heat loss by radiation. Thank you. That's all from me. Now I would like to send my presentation to Naufal.
There's an addition of heat application other than Thermos Flask, which is the railways. The railways are built with spaces in between to allow expansion during the hot weather. Secondly, the electric cables. The electric cables are installed loosely to prevent cables from breaking when shrinking during the cold weather. And finally, the use of the properties of mercury on thermometers that easily extend and shrink to measure body temperature as the heat transferred in a direct contact. So in conclusion, the concept of heat is really useful in engineering technology as it is essential in making things easy nowadays. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Naufal bin Salim, and today I want to show you why heat is important in engineering. Okay, for chemical engineers and mechanical engineers, heat is very important and significant as a study for thermal engineering. For example, for chemical engineers, there's a topic about thermodynamics which covers about temperature, works, and heat. On the other hand, the usage of heat itself is useful as it is important in industry, agriculture, transportation, and food. As I said before, heat is important for thermal engineers. Thermal engineering means that the field of engineering science which deals with application of thermodynamics and its laws to work producing and work absorbing devices. It is also a process to convert heat energy from thermal sources into chemical, mechanical, and electrical sources. Thermal engineer must allow the proper amount of energy to be transferred for correct use. This is because many plants use heat exchangers in their operation. Second of all is the usage of heat itself. Some components that a thermal engineer could work with include heat exchangers, heat sinks, bimetal strips, radiators, and many more. On the other hand, heat is supplied or removed for other uses such as autoclaves, dryers, and vectors. Secondly, heating to specified temperatures is required in most processes in chemical technology and food processing.